Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Kelvin, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming on Popternative.
Thank you, man. Good to see you too.
I mean, it's been crazy. I mean, it's calm before the storm, right? The film's coming out, and you've been talking to a lot of people.
Yes, this is all true. The film is coming out, and I have talked to a lot of people.
It's pretty crazy because I know that, music has always been a passion of yours as well. And, you really love acting as well. So to be able to do a project that really kind of focuses on both of these, I mean, that's a dream come true, right?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is my dad's dream come true. And so and as a junior, it is now my dream come true. But I'm very honored and really privileged to be able to do this movie and tell the story. So I'm super stoked about it all.
You played a bunch of a few instruments growing up, right? Like there was a few. Violin was one. Was violin like the instrument for you, or was it like maybe one that like you played a little bit? Like, what was your main instrument growing up?
I mean, violin was my first instrument, and I wish it was my main instrument, and I wanted to continue on with it, but Hurricane Katrina happened, and the program went away, so I didn't continue in it. But when I got back, I did start the keyboard and the trumpet, and those were my main instruments, mostly the keyboard and the piano.
Yeah. What was something that you really liked about in the script specifically with Chevalier? What was something that you really kind of resonated with this character specifically?
I just think that I just like his cool. I mean, I think he was such an artist, and Mozart was an artist, he did his thing too. But I think it was just so cool to see someone that was more laid back and not like so high strung and so just a different type of artist. Like I like Joseph's showmanship. He was a real performer in the way that we love watching Prince and we love watching Michael Jackson perform at like their Super Bowl performances and their live shows. Like Joseph was someone you needed to see live. And obviously you can listen to his composition, but he did both. Yeah. And I was interested in kind of like embodying the fullness of what that guy kind of brought to the table.
That's really well said. Absolutely. And I have to say, I listen to all kinds of music. You know what I mean? My kind of handle is PD Beats because that was my stage name. I used to play in like metal bands and everything because I played music as well. But like I'm all over the map with the music I listen to. I've always had an appreciation for classical music. Are you the same? Do you have more of an appreciation for classical music after making this film?
I've always appreciated it. I just I don't really listen to that much music, to be honest. Which is crazy, but I think I'm just really selective on what I'm listening to, and when I like something, I double down on it. I listened to a lot of classical music growing up because my dad taught classical music, so there was that element, which had its own trauma. But I think now I dive in when it feels appropriate.
We mentioned, there was a lot of research when you booked this role and everything. What were kind of first questions you had specifically? Because like there's a lot kind of comes to mind, you know what I mean, about his style of music, just going back in time and everything, the aesthetic. What were the first kind of questions you had when you booked this role research-wise?
It didn't really make sense to me at first. I was like, how did he go from a plantation to being friends with the queen? And you get the talking points, you get the main hitters, which is like, okay, he went to Paris, he went to Labussier's Academy, they trained him, he met Gossec, he met all these incredible composers, he learned how to play the violin, he was the best fencer in town. Obviously that got him, some people were talking about him in town. He was also very he was a ladies' man. Everybody probably had slept with him in town. So his name was getting around. And then you think, so my question is just like, how did he navigate it, and why did his dad do it? Mm-hmm. I could never figure that part out, as why did his dad want to pay for him to live in this beautiful, lavish French apartment and give him all these tools? What was the reasoning behind that, and how does that affect Joseph in turn? So yeah, there's a lot of questions. I was full secret agent on this one.
Oh, absolutely. I feel like it's always going to be like that. How did this role compare to past roles you played in the past? Are they all kind of different mindset wise, or is it all storytelling in your opinion?
I think it's all storytelling. At the end of the day, I think they're all the same, and it's not the same. The different characters. I'm interested in people. I think everybody is an individual. I think everybody is fighting for the same thing, is to be loved and to know how to love. And that's every character's journey, period. And I think in that space for me, it's like getting into the specificity of what it means to be a Black person, a young Black man. Joseph was like 25 when all of this was happening. And a lot of the characters, obviously, because I'm only 28, are from a young person's perspective, a young Black man's perspective. How am I making life make sense for me? How am I trying to find love in my world?
This is a great film, but this is a very important film. And I can't wait for people to see this in theaters because, you know, that is my favorite thing about storytelling, man. Stories that weren't told before are finally getting told. That is like the best part of this, in my opinion.
Yeah, same, honestly. I think it expands our relationship with the world, and I think that's really beautiful.
What were you obviously have some amazing scenes with Samara in this film. What were those were there any conversations? Like, I feel like you're in the zone, right? You're going and filming and everything, but are there kind of conversations with her like before kind of some of these big scenes, or is it just kind of like, hey, cool, let's do this, scene partner?
Yeah, basically it's that. It's kind of just like scene partner. I think the thing is that we've also been doing this for so long, you know, even though we're young, but I think we've gotten to a place where we're just like, all right, this is how this goes down. And this is, you know, we're going to do A, B, and C. What do you need? What are we trying to achieve with the relationship? We understand the scenes, and we do the job.
Chevalier is going to be available in theaters, and everyone has to go see it because I really, really had a great time with this film, and it's an important film. When they get a chance to go see it, Kelvin, what are you hoping they get out of it, takeaway wise?
I'm hoping that they're entertained and they get a good laugh, and they're like, "Whoa, this looks sick," and they get some good action moments. And I also hope that people are just like, when they learn about Joseph, they're really learning about the complexity of how a man like this, how much people have to overcome in order to be accepted and find their community. And also hope that they find themselves being like, you know what, he was pretty fly being himself, and I should do just that, be myself, and I'll be fly too.
Absolutely. Chevalier is going to be in theaters. Kelvin, so great chatting with you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.